Welcome back to Combust Astrology. My name is Liv. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to be recording the full moon in Sagittarius video, and we're kind of going to be diving into what it is that this full moon in Sagittarius is about, and then also how this relates to the rest of the month. So just want to start off by saying timestamps are in the description below, and the full moon in Sagittarius. So a full moon, in case you don't know, is basically a lunation where we're going to see the sun and the moon having a 180-degree aspect, right? But the biggest thing about the full moon is that it's a part of a quarter cycle. And at the start of the cycle, here, we have the new moon, and the full moon is 180 degrees, right? So the full moon is basically a culmination of a seed, but before the first quarter, and then the new moon comes about again at the last quarter. I'll just say third quarter. And so whenever you have a full moon, we had the new moon in that opposing sign. So the moon was in Gemini, right? What does this mean? It means that right now we are going to reap the seed that we sowed in Gemini. And because it's the opposite, it should always be the start of something and then the release of something else until we go all the way through the zodiac, the first 6 signs. And then the last 6 are probably going to be what we reaped and then what we're looking to potentially fix in a sowing way, right? Or release and let go to start the cycle again. So looking at Gemini, what is it that we sowed during Gemini? Let's actually go back to that. Typically, these are about 2 weeks in terms of how quickly this goes about. So I'm actually going to go back 14 days and let us see. Roughly 14 days, like whatever. May the 29th, we, probably 27. We have that new moon. Now, during this new moon, we just have Saturn recently ingressing into Aries, and then we also have Pluto in Aquarius, recently going retrograded during that month. And then last but not least, we have a fresh new Mercury. So Mercury, Jupiter, Sun, all of this to me is like a whole bunch of ideas, right? And I didn't have time to cover it because I was gone. I was trying to enjoy the ingress into Saturn on vacation. But all of this is new ideas, new possibilities, new feelings, new emotions. And where I was having the transit in my chart, I thought it was a good idea to take a break. But depending on where you had it, you could call back to how you felt during that period of time with the Saturn transit, because that really overshadowed the new moon. But it was about a new start. Either you lost someone that you loved, you gained someone that you now love, but it's a new cycle, it's a new beginning. And it was even more so because of the sextile between the two. So now, looking at the old full moon, the old new moon that happened in Gemini, you can kind of look at what it is that you now kind of want to work towards at the culminating point of the seed being sown. I mean, reaping the seed that you've sown here in the full moon. So the opposition creates the need to have, the need to have faith. And I've spoken about this a little bit during my Saturn series in Aries, but the mutable axis of Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sag is like faith. And here we can see that there is a grand cross between the moon, the sun, the north node, and then the south node. And this grand cross is all about the faith. Did you get enough information after starting anew to now make it possible, to now feel better? During that original time, things may have been uncomfortable, but now hopefully it's better. You've gone through the moon and also Mars moving through the late degrees of Aries. You're now moving into a beautiful time where Jupiter and Mercury are both in Cancer. We're walking into June and making sure that we actually have a good, happy, solid feeling. And that's the biggest thing you should be doing if it's already not feeling that way, because of the fact that June is an amazing month. I know that there's going to be the squares and yada, 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 but it is an amazing month. You should not discount that. In my podcast, Unordained Astrology, just a little plug, I actually covered the month of June fully with my co-host, Anna Kate, and we talk about how it is that June really makes you feel better. Feel free to check it out on Spotify or Apple Music. I'll also have a link below. But in this full moon, it's a little taste of that. It's a little taste of potential frustration if it's not exactly the biggest dream that you wanted it to be. Because, Moon and Sag is like, I want it all. I want it all and so much more. But even before it is everything that you want and so much more, how have you been making it better? How have you modified it? Because I'm uploading this video 5 days before. So we're fresh off of the moon in Virgo, which is the first quarter. And in that first quarter, it's like a mitigation. It's a modification as well. You're removing, probably re-embracing, fixing some of the ideas that you had from the start, and things should feel better. As we go through Libra and then Scorpio, you're going to try and make it more balanced, trying to make it more possible. Because, at first, it's the idea, the feeling, the execution, and now the modification, the refinement in a way that's actually sustainable, and then the shedding of what isn't to get now to the expanse of that Sagittarius energy. All the while, Venus in Taurus is allowing you to see that it's necessary. Because right now, Venus actually entered Taurus. Okay? Wear that green. All right? Enjoy it. It's a great time. But when it comes down to this full moon, make sure you're having fun. Make sure you're enjoying it. Make sure that you really take in June. Because after that, we have Leo season right around the corner. And so this, to me, there's not really much else to say about this full moon. It's not too much. I know there are larger cycles that it kind of finishes, but keeping you focused and keeping you very much in the present, I think that's the biggest part. When I cover astrology and I do readings, I've started noticing over the years, especially over last year, as I've been doing like in-person readings and doing them very frequently, as much as I love this, as much as I enjoy it, it doesn't really need a long period of time talking, right? Like you can click out of this video now, but you really don't need too much. You don't have to check these transits every day. You just got to see what's majorly going on in the month and then keep an open mind about it, because ultimately I still see life in this specific way, and it might change, but so far this is where you start, and then everything in between is in your control, and this is where you end, because there's a start and a finish. So the transits just let you kind of decide if you want it to be down here or if you want it to be up here. But ultimately, no matter what's happening, if Pluto's squaring you or whatever, or Venus is now whatever, like, it's not the end of the world. And just take it a day at a time. So with that being said, I hope that this full moon in Sagittarius makes for a great time for you. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to check the description down below. This is now where I do some updates, so you're free to go. So if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, it's at Combust Astrology. You can also use the email on my website, combustastrology.com. And then I will start posting TikToks again. I promise. And at the same time, I also want to say that I have classes in person and online. If you are in North Carolina, feel free to come in person. I'm at Casa Shanti. And if you want to join one of my classes online, I am posting the links down below. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.